Scott and I, we're here today to talk about a new feature which we just added for Kubernetes deployments. So we know that a lot of our customers love Kubernetes and the number of people deploying to Kubernetes every day is growing. So we put a lot of effort into making the deployments better for everyone. And we know that one of the best ways to manage Kubernetes deployments is to have configuration written in some nice place we can do iterations and compare previous version to the existing one. And I can enable multiple people working on this. And obviously this place is Git. So we know you love it and we love it too. Before with Octopus, you were able to use Git, but you had to package every version of your configuration files and send to Octopus. Now we're working on making this experience better. So you don't need to package YAML files from now on. We're adding this option of sourcing files directly from Git. So not only makes deployments easier, less things to configure, but it also enables you to use one set of YAML files as a template, as a creation template for multiple steps. And let's see how we came to this feature originally. Then we learned that people just use the same package for dozens or even hundreds of apps. So sorting this from one place instead of using the package just was a natural development from here.
Yeah, so here on the screen, I have just a basic deploy raw Kubernetes YAML step. And as you can see, if I scroll down and you can highlight this area, we have an extra option. So initially you would, if you're familiar with the step, you probably know we have like the inline YAML, we have package selection, what Kit was talking about, and now we have Git repository. And what that gives us is we've got a few different input fields here. So you can choose your credential for connecting to your Git resource, anonymous as well if you want. You have the URL for your Git repo, and then you have your branch. And this is a default branch that it will use to take the commit from. And I'll show you that in just a second. And then we also have paths. And so what this does is it allows you to specify exactly which YAML files in that specific Git repo, in that commit, that you want to apply to your Kubernetes cluster. So taking all of that, and I've got some data configured here already, just to make it a little easier. Once I'm happy with my step, I can save it, and then I can create a release. We can see that we have a Git resources thing. If you're familiar with the release creation screen, you might remember that there's like a packages drop down if you have reference packages. Obviously, we don't have any in this deployment, so we have Git resources instead. And now that I've expanded this, you can see, okay, yep, that's the repo I put in. These are the paths that I'm looking at in that repo. And we can select our commit. At this stage, this early stage, we just allow people to either pick the tip of the default branch or the commit from the previous release. And now this is release 0.4, so obviously I've had a release before, and you can see there's a commit there. Now, if I hit save, that creates it. You can see this is our Git resource here, no packages, but we've got one Git resource. And then I can do a quick deployment. A successful deployment. So this is also using our target discovery for Kubernetes, not required for Git manifests, just the way this step has been configured. Okay, here we go. So basically the step is running. We can see that it applies the YAML in batches, where each path that I've specified, it will apply that YAML and then it will apply the next one. And we can see that it is successfully deployed. And also in the acquire packages, you can see that it's acquiring actually from a Git resource, and that's where we're sourcing our YAML from. And just so you know as well, this also works with our new Kubernetes object status feature, which will show the status of the all of the bits and pieces that got updated or created or deleted in the deployment process.
Yeah, as you see with this feature, this small addition, you can start very simple. You can just deploy YAMLs from your Git repo, but you can develop it further, and you can build a step template from this. You can use variables for your files paths or even for your Git repo address. So you can use this step and create it once, and as I said before, deploy like dozens of applications in different ways. So just try it out. Let us know what you think. We actually have a blog post written about this one, so you can have a few examples from there. And yeah, please be in touch. Let us know if it's working. The feature will be available in the cloud in a few weeks, and on-prem customers will see this in 2023.3 release.